Hi, welcome into my channel. This channel is about astronomy, but against the current view of astronomy, against the Big Bang, basically. I discovered that the Big Bang is false. But I didn't want it to make an extended YouTube channel. I'm from Europe, so I said maybe I don't speak very well English or something like this. But I wanted to tell you that the Big Bang is false and nobody believes me. So that's why I want to comment some videos from YouTube to prove to you that some guys that are sustaining the Big Bang do not know science and they understand science bad. Because if I will only told you the Big Bang is false, maybe nobody believe me. So that's why I started to make like a full channel, full of videos. Okay, so it has been like a half a year. I started to upload many videos, and I feel myself like in this angle, and now I start to feel myself in a perpendicular manner. I already made this. So I am saying like a tea science, a coffee science. And I always have here like a pretext for science, a tea or a coffee. So about light, how I named this video how to speak into the lightning. Because this is the radio, believe me or not, the radio proceeds like this. You speak into the lightning, basically. So, but first of all, why I make this to explain to you light. I didn't want it because I'm not like a professor to explain to you science and things like this. So some dudes make money, but I don't care. I filming from my house. I brought a guitar to explain to you radio wave, all the electromagnetic spectrum and light science, that it is wrong and they do not understand it. So why I'm making this? Because they do not understand light. So, but neither understanding light, they are saying the light, that redshift, Doppler stuff, redshift, stretching of light. This is the main proof. They have two proofs only for the Big Bang. This redshift calculates the distances, so implies light, knowing what light is. And the second proof may background microwave radiation, but they say that it is light still. So there are two proofs based on light. So now you must understand what light is. Light diminishes with distance, makes a point. So that's why I explain light, okay? So everybody says that light is in a line. You have ultraviolet, infrared light, radio waves, and in the middle the visible spectrum, and they do like this. And this is the first point of mistake. Light does not have any frequencies. It's a constructed spectrum always. Some atoms construct light to manifestate in its order. This is the idea of this video. Light, electromagnetic waves are constructed by somebody using some atoms. So you are supposing atoms before the light, and in this manner you understand that you must have been somebody thought of these things together, like atoms and light. So, but let's first of all you look at this Dave, Professor Dave. I take some YouTubers. So you look at this Professor Dave.
Frequencies greater than this will exist as UV radiation, X-rays, or gamma rays, and frequencies less than this qualify as infrared radiation, microwaves, or radio waves. All of these phenomena are collectively referred to as electromagnetic radiation, and they can be found on the electromagnetic spectrum. Here we can see all the wavelengths and frequencies ranging from radio waves to gamma rays, and we have found some technological use for all of these in modern society. Even though they seem dramatically different, some requiring things like antennas or other equipment to manipulate, all of them are fundamentally the same thing as the light you can see with your eyeballs. They are just of different wavelengths. All electromagnetic radiation moves at the speed of light, which is about 300 million meters per second in a vacuum, the fastest speed possible in the universe. This is fast enough to get from here to the moon in about a second. And since we know that all waves move at a speed that is equal to their wavelength times their frequency, this product will be equal to the speed of light for any type of electromagnetic radiation.
So this Professor Dave has channel, science channel. I saw many stupid things on YouTube. So they are professing themselves to be professors and that they are knowing this. In this video I will show to you the same idea said by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't have anything with these guys, and they are not presenting the entire wrong, the science, but they are falsifying somehow. They are saying something wrong. So that's why I make these videos, okay? So they are saying that is this line, it is wrong because it is a constructive wave. So now let me show to you this Tesla coil. If you have seen these Tesla coils, the emission of light is similarly like in a thundercloud, lightning. So lightning is already modulated by two atoms. You suppose that you have in an oxygen cloud, hydrogen oxygen cloud, that is a cloud of water producing lightning, okay, like this.
Lightning strikes from storm clouds down to the ground. It also strikes up into storms and also out into thin air. Sometimes isolated sparks shoot up out of the ground. Lightning channels sometimes sail in strong wind and take bizarre, unlikely paths through the sky. This video is about the weird behavior of strange lightning.
So you see that it is similar. A Tesla coil emits similar with these clouds. So what you are seeing, so now you understand the first mistake, that they are believing that light is like waves, by understanding like this stupid, bigger frequency like this, and bigger frequency ondulation and a wave per second. So my hand moves and touches this hand after a second, and it has a big cross like this, like big ocean waves and small ocean waves. But understand it, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is our constructive wave and waves of mathematical understanding. If you watch these thunder clouds and this Tesla coil, I will put them for you again. You see that there is not a coherent pattern like this. It is light, electromagnetic, pure light, natural. Has a frequency, but if you want to catch it on the picture and number and in splits, you see it splits. It does not goes only in straight line. It is proven or even that it is not goes can change direction, goes like this and change directions, and it splits in 2, 3. You see, so why I said that you can speak into the lightning. This is the first way of radio waves were produced, because Hertz observed that you have two wires, break wires like this. You have one wire, Harry Hertz. You have break wire like this, so on a complete circle, and you electroshock with the electromagnetic, the electricity jumps from here to here. But he observed that this jump is like electromagnetic circuit, exactly like this thunder clouds and this Tesla coil, identically. So he observed this, but it was not enough. He had another break wire like this, Hertz. This is how simple it was. Another break wire. This is the first antenna. And he observed that if he jumps from this break, the electricity in this one, you can capture it in another. This is the antenna. Somehow it produced that the spark produce a wave in air, and it is captured here. This is the antenna, and you can vary the ways you made the antenna, like this, like with a simple cylinder, like you have a coil, you try this to make more performant. How do you want to make it? So in some sense, it is Bell did this. So I explained to you to understand that I know they are constructive ways. In the natural state, you saw that they are speaking. So let me come back and explain to you further. See, Neil deGrasse Tyson from YouTube channel speaking the same things, and not even him. Everybody says like this. They're put it in a line, and it's very important to understand that this is. If you understand this, you understand that micro background radiation does not prove the Big Bang, and the Doppler is false. So the entire proof for the Big Bang false. So watch Neil deGrasse Tyson saying the same things. I will break up in many pieces what he says. I did not take the entire length of the video, but to see, I don't have anything to them, and they are knowing some stuff, but they are wrong, not controlling exactly logically this kind of thing. So watch this.
But ultraviolet smoothly transitions to X-rays. Now, once again, it's a continuum of a change of wavelength of light, and then you get to beyond X-rays, you get to gamma rays.
Right.
And by the way, gamma rays just keep getting higher and higher energetic, but we don't have more words for it. Right? It's just the last word we've got. But you could have divided that up even more. We just don't. Okay? Right. So we have, like I said, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. There you have it. All right. Go the other direction. Wavelengths are getting longer. Mm-hmm. The energy is dropping. So you go below the red, you get infrared. Below the red.
So after you watch the same ideas, they put a visible spectrum, rock wave colors, red in the middle, and then in the you see infrared and ultraviolet radio waves, and so now you must understand, if you watch when I explain to you how hertz captured their sparkle, but you do not believe that spark is radio. Now, and the title is not a lying title. You speak literally. You speak in the lightning. When you know the first radios, this is how they are making the first radio. So now, if you understand Bell, the first telephone, how he did the first telephone, they were knowing the electricity, that it flows through wire, and they're coded initially like the telegraph, like two position, like two tones, one tone, two tone, and they were writing letters like this. And point and a line, because they do not knew how to transmit voice. But in this matter, they were identify letters. So this is the telegraph. So they knew electricity, that it flows. So they knew that you can make a short circle like in it. It goes with that frequency that you short circle this cable. So this is what the telegraph. Another guy sit and listen, and he heard this stuff. Morse code, if you know, okay? The letter being symbolized by point line, 2 points line, like this, okay? So, but now, how you transmit voice? They do not knew that you can speak in this wire, transmit voice. And you can speak in this wire, transmit voice. Bell put a wire in a water like this, and the other end, so he charged the electrically charged, and he spoke into the wire. But and you do not believe, because it makes a sound copy in electric field, electromagnetic field. So that's why the radio waves, they are constructed radio waves. Knowing that the voice is like a cylinder, you sculpt a cylinder of wood. You have many waves of sculpt in the cylinder of wood. It is not a predetermined sculptures to see that it is a frequency. you put some atoms together and you make some circuit and you electroshock these atoms and they producing the waves in some manner, okay? So then they, how to make you must understand that I know to understand all of, I explain to you science, it's nice. Bell put a wire in water like this, simple, and electric charge the wire, and you speak in the water. Water copies the frequency of the voices and transmit it through the wire. The voice, when you speak in any language on earth, it proceeds like this. And this whole big video that so I didn't want to make them, but you understand that the Doppler is false and stupid. Everybody speaks, but if you resume to the idea that the waves are constructed waves, they are not natural in a natural way. And you saw this thundercloud. Let's see it again. This thundercloud.
Lightning strikes from storm clouds down to the ground. It also strikes up into storms and also out into thin air. Sometimes isolated sparks shoot up out of the ground. Lightning channels sometimes sail in strong wind and take bizarre, unlikely paths through the sky. This video is about the weird behavior of strange lightning.
And let now watch another time Tesla coil. You see that they are not frequency like coherent frequency. You see like big here, small here. It is a direction that it flows. From somewhere. You can use this because you know that it walks from here to here always. Like it has a direction. Like electricity flows through a wire from a direction to a direction. The same, the electromagnetic waves through the ear or void, pure void. But they are constructed ways. The mistake is similar. How to say that this is a. That's why I brought the guitar. It's a long video, but if you watch this video, you will understand many things. Science, big time science. Okay, so I didn't want to, and I'm not patronizing you, like to treat you like from down. But how they are saying, you saw that Professor Dave makes like we are stupid. Everybody are stupid. He knows electromagnetic wave, but I'm not speaking like him. Okay, he's speaking like this. I'm not. Okay. So because I want to tell you that the galaxies are close and the redshift is false and the micro background, but you must understand all the phenomena that I know, okay? And in the process you learn. You see, it's the same mistake like you are saying that iron has waves in it. Does not. You take iron and you make it a small wire, this. With some dimension. This is not pure wire, it's a copper winding. Only these cords are pure iron, like it is a steel string. But it is the same mistake to say that the steel has a frequency. It's stupid. If you make a cube, big cube does not have any frequency. Does not have a sound. So you understand how they are tricking themselves, but not controlling in a perfect manner logic. Okay. So you now say that the light has frequency. Light does not have frequency. They are constructed frequency. You understand? The thundercloud constructs the lightning, constructed in this manner. So I began to tell you in the first radio stuff, you had two break pieces like I showed to you like hertz. You pass electrocharging in these jumps like a short lightning, between here and here. But before the lightning is produced, you speak into it. You speak into electromagnetic core. You make an electromagnetic wire like this, and you speak into it. You speak. This is the microphone. You speak into it. So it registers your voice and transmits and you alimentate this with electricity. The electricity moves through the wire like this, lightning through the air. So now after your voice, the lightning is modulates after how you speak. So the flow through the wire is going to be a copy of a frequency of voice, a temporal copy, a geometrical copy, you understand? So it is going to be transmitted. You receive this simple, but it flows like your voice flows through electricity. Exactly, your voice flows through electricity, through a wire. Exactly, your voice, not something. Your voice flows in a pattern, temporal pattern to the wire. Like exactly like you are speaking through through how do you say that? Water flows, okay, to a tube. So now you receive that, you multiply it. This is the microphone. This is the microphone. So what it is? What is the pattern of the sound pattern of iron? It is stupid to say like this. You can modulate the sound of that iron emits in many ways. You make an iron like this, and you like you have that stuff that you hit. Like percussion, you understand? So you can make many modulations. It has a limit. It has a limit of modulating it. So in this manner they are tricking themselves, because the atom themselves produce the light, visible light at the TV or the pixels, the atom themselves, and they have a limit, and that's why they are believing that. But the atoms, so in this manner, if you understand, you cannot have light only after atoms. So you cannot prove through any radiation the anteriority of the atoms, if you understand. But let me explain to you more. Like, let's make it this beautiful, but once and for all, to understand. For you to understand, okay? So my pretext for science, and I'm explaining to you in an easy manner. So I've told you the first radio was exactly like, so you can make a microphone like this, okay? Bell did this. Bell trusted that the water, if you speak into the water, this is the way for the first microphone. He put the wire in water and spoke. And he believed that he will receive the frequency of voice. Do you make a function? So the light does not have this. So let me stop for a moment again and show to you something nice that I made. I wanted to show to you a constructed wave, sound wave, but it's constructed, does not exist, it's constructed. You see? So I want to tell you that it is constructed. You cannot put a line like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do are frequency and tones, and there are different instruments that give a different color of the sound, like a tone, and you have you have frequency per second. You made these cylinders of oscillation, three-dimensional. So, but it is going to be stupid for you to say that the iron itself from the piano, let's say that is the sound of the piano. It is stupid to say that the sound of the iron has a frequency. So light has not a frequency. It is a constructive wave. And even in this, it is a correspondence between light and so it takes any shape. So this is an image from a light of the sound. So it is a constructive wave always. So that stuff with infrared, ultraviolet, and it is stupid. It is stupid. Radio waves are constructive waves to carry out sound like this, to transmit it in radio. Let's put this again. I compose this. I compose it. So it is a constructed wave. You understand? It is a constructed wave. You cannot say that the sound is a wave, like you have infrasound, ultrasound, and that you do not hear. It is stupid to speak like this. These are constructed waves, okay?
So there's the infrared, and then you go beyond infrared, below infrared, what used to just all be called radio waves. And then they said, well, there's a section of the radio waves that have special utility for us for communicating. It's just the shortest of the radio waves, and they call them microwaves.
Sweet.
Short radio waves, microwaves. So that got it labeled right there between infrared and radio waves. And beyond microwaves, we have radio waves. And now we're getting physically realizably sized wavelengths of light. So microwaves are about a centimeter long. We can actually show that. Between a millimeter up through a few centimeters. And then when you get into the meter zone, yards and things, those are radio waves. And once again, like gamma rays, these just continue forever. And we don't have more words for it.
Right. Which is why we have so many different broadcasts. Or are those just frequencies? But the frequency,
the
frequency is the wave.
You can call them, they call them wavelengths.
Right.
But it's our habit to call them frequencies.
Right.
Right. So each frequency, when you're tuning,
right.
In the old days, you'd have an AM or an FM radio. When you're turning the dial, you are changing the frequency of your detector to receive a signal sent through that zone.
Wow.
There you have it.
That's great.
And in the old days, when you turn, old timers, you turn the knob to change the channel on the TV, you're actually changing the frequency detector inside the television. And there's that secondary knob that you could tune it a little sharper. I don't know if you knew that. Okay? That got you honed in on that one frequency. Was it channel 7, channel 8? Right. We just numbered them. We didn't give you the frequency because that's why, when you can just number them, which is what we did in the day. So anyway, all of these move at the speed of light. It is all light. Most of it is invisible to you. In fact, if you put this on a scale, if you drew all of these things and you ask, well, how much of this whole electromagnetic spectrum can we see?
Right.
And we see this tiny slice among all these broad zones in the electromagnetic spectrum. We are practically blind.
So after you watch that material, I explaining to you supplementary the relation between sound and light. So now if you understand, so they are tricking themselves. They are presenting this line of electromagnetic spectrum, and another scope of my videos is to prove to you that the science is wrong. Maxwell electromagnetism is done for the wires, and he says only by some quantities of electromagnetic intensities, and that's why they are tricked. And through the wire, he did not make that spark jumps Hertz spark. So now we are saying electromagnetic fields that was united by Maxwell, but in engineering type of science, in a wire, he made this on wires. If electricity flows through a wire like this, they will produce a magnetic field like this with some intensity if you vary the frequency of the electric field that flows through a wire. So it is an engineering science, because if you vary the wire, the equation does not cover anymore. So you are believing that it didn't matter. They teach you at school this to lose your time, and they are making these reinventions. The rocket, the planes, the boats, everything. Then they arrest you in the school. And you understand that my heart is like, is for you to understand. They are lying. It is wrong science, electromagnetism. They did not unite the whole phenomenon of magnetism with light and with energy.
But for all of antiquity, we had no idea what light really was. Figures like Newton and Huygens worked with light in the 17th century. but a more sophisticated description of light, which we call classical electromagnetism, was developed largely by James Clerk Maxwell in the 19th century. This theory depicts light as a transverse wave composed of oscillating electric and magnetic fields, which are at right angles to each other and perpendicular to the direction that the wave moves. We will learn more about these fields later.
So it is not an important video to understand that this false. All the science is false. 99% of the science is false. It is, you understand my fight. But I only wanted to tell you the Big Bang is false. But for you to understand that I am not crazy, okay? So Maxwell supposed a wire, and you presuppose the way of production of electricity. You have again some wires and with the electric core like this, and you spin it. You know that this is the way the electricity is made. A power plant is spin it, and you already make a frequency due to the how much wires you make like this. And then they make these tricks like for you to believe that they somehow, it's a big theoretical mathematical thing that you cannot. They did this with wires. They took a wire and they are lying to you with formulas. Maxwell lied somehow, if you understand. And he did not have control on his mind. You already produce the electricity with the frequency by a rotated field, because this is the way how you produce it with a copper wire and an iron core, and you spin that stuff and you make to flow something like that thunderclouds through a wire, and then you measure the intensity of the wire and the direction with a compass, with the magnets and things like this. And you infer some mathematics. You put that triangle stuff so the flows like this. So this is you already make some wrong things. Because electricity is constructed to flow that way, in which we did that frequency. It is constructed due to the spin of your engine that you are spinning the turbine or something you produce. It is so the electricity flow. It is constructed to move at 230 watts per second with some ampere with some. And this is engineering science. You know, in the wire, big thick wire, that some Maxwell is false. It is a little bit what I'm telling you. You understand? But I'm telling you that all the stuff were inventions, if you understand. So now what is light? We do not know at this hour. And I'm telling you like all my sincerity. So if I could tell you like that, you see the visible spectrum. But the visible spectrum, you are believing, you see, is trigonometrical, how I've told you. From Newton, they were taken through a prism, the light. But it matters if now the prism receives a different constructive waves. You understand? So let me tell you another way. If you put the rainbow like red, green, yellow, blue, indigo, violet, you are believing in somehow that's red. Like this is a leaf, red leaf. It is like somehow a single color, but red has an entire spectrum. You do not know how big it is. It could be infinite. So in some sense you can have infinite frequency of red. So how you can put this in equation? That's why quantum mechanics is false and the light. Because you do not understand that this with what I'm filming makes like a copy, like a function copy without knowing what it does. Exactly like this, I put this wire and I speak into it. They were making this to read, like to imprime a picture and to read it. And this is how it is proceeds. And I sound stupid, but I am lying. And I'm telling what they are telling. And I'm telling you supplementary, you understand? So let me make beautiful this video. The voice of human voice when it speaks produces with few tones in each language on earth. Chinese, English, French. So they are vocals, basic tones, vocals. A, E, I, O, U. This is in all the languages. And this is our basic tones. Basic tones. So the consonants interrupt this. And you can put a consonant before you make the vocal and after you speak a vocal, like so in before and after. And that's why we only can sing on vocals. You cannot sing the consonants, so you must make something long. You make the tone long, so a vocal. So in some way it is I believe that there's another ones, but this is our basic tones. When you speak, are ways of modulating a frequency. So this tone, it is a tone. It is, if you understand, is like a wave, a tone wave, in a geometrical pattern describes an atone. Like I put for you this guy to understand the relation between sounds and some visual geometrical stuff.
Sand in the places of very little energy, that would be our nodes, and where it's moving quite a bit, it keeps the sand from those areas, and that would be examples of antinodes.
Now, as we increase the frequency, those compressional waves become shorter, giving us more standing waves and a more complex pattern on the surface.
So after you watch that, you see there is a relation, and it is a relation with light also. I'll show to you that he modulates a laser beam with voice. Okay, so NASA actually current day they want to transmit with lasers, like signal, like radio signal, like speaking signal or images with modulating laser, because you must speak into the laser, basically speaking like this. You speak into the laser and you make the laser copy your frequency of emission. So the piece that emits laser with speed of light at something, before you emit you emit it with a frequency, and the frequency is made by the copper wirings like this with a magnetic core, and you speak into it. And when you speak into it, you put the electricity through it. It makes a copy, like in a microphone, of your voice, and this will flow the electricity through the wires at the piece that emits the laser beam. So you obligate laser beam to speak your voice, basically. So you transmit the laser beam, basically your frequency of your voice. You understand? So what is the red shift in all of this? You understand? In the radio wave, all the spectrum moves to the red. The radio wave, the microwave, all the spectrum moves. Understand? They're crazy. They're crazy. There's some holes in the spectrum. So you understand, every Chinese, Japanese have these tones, and you can sing only on the vocals, because you must extend a note, like E. You see, this E is a way of making like a flower, and you see that you can modulate this tone. This flower of voice can be modulated itself, and you can sing on E tone. I know them from Romania, maybe that's, or from A tone. Oh, you understand? So there are different flowers, like different tunnels of light sculpted, and them themselves have notes now. They have notes like this, and this is the same manner of light manner. If you have some basic tones, you can modulate them, and you cannot pass from A to E tone, because you cannot. You must emit that flower of voice and that tone, you understand, you cannot pass one from one through another. So what they are changing the redshift? You understand, they are crazy. They are crazy. This manner of telling that this spectrum is like here visible infrared, and you put some stuff like this, burn your skin. And they are all electromagnetic emissions. Electromagnetic emissions. So, but they do not know if it is light of the electron even now. But I'm speaking for you correct, but I'm not lying. Okay. So now you have this tone. You see. How stupid is for you to say that the sound has only some frequency, because the hear or hear only that. So the music in some sense is infinite. It's infinite. You break some tones. You have like A, B, like I told you with the voice. You have some tones on many instruments, like flute instrument. And like their instrument, you blow wind in them, you strike them like this, you like the violin, you like rub something, so you produce the tone in different ways. And you cannot, this is the mistake, but that is artistic way of writing the music, to believe that somehow you can pass from the violin to the flute. You cannot. You cannot. But, and then to say that the chords of the violin are the same thing with the notes of the flute. They are not. But because they are not. It is a way to represent this, or to say that the violin comes from the flute. It is not. Because you have some reduction between them. So you understand? They did not understand. You must control some things. More close logical control you must have over this thing. And in the same manner, it hears arranged, and you have sound that the ear does not hear it. So now it is limited. Because the eyes see colors. I told you that the green could be infinite. The color green can be infinite. Because you can modulate many atoms. You have 100 atoms in Mendeleev. You are believing that they are emitting red. So, but you combine many atoms. And you make many tones of red, and you understand, or green. So what it moves now towards the red? They were stupid. You not believe in 80-50s. That guys were crazy. And that's why you cannot combine a single load of light, because the light does not have a frequency. Is somehow without phase. You made a phase of light. How do you want? And it copies all the geometries, you see.
Now let's try it on this surface to see if we can get the same results.
I'm getting the same behavior here, just on a smaller scale. So the sand is showing us that the surface isn't just moving in and out. As the volume and frequency are changed, there are different patterns that are forming on the membrane. And the laser beam bouncing off of this membrane simply casts those changing patterns onto the nearby wall.
Well, with a little bit of light and sand and sound, we got some interesting patterns. I'd like to thank you for stopping in, and come back and see me again. Okay, bye.
You see, these were inventions. Look, these were inventions. And now I'm telling you, let's suppose that it is a galaxy, and you move it towards you see there's a red bulb, a green bulb, a blue bulb, and a yellow bulb. Which one goes to the red? If you move it away from the source. I'm telling you that they're crazy. So I'm telling you the galaxies are pieces exactly like this. Static pacing, one day with the speed of light. So from the light, this guy says, Dave, like a god, a rock god put for the sun. This is a primitive science makes primitive gods, ideological gods like this, like the Big Bang and all this bullshit science that they are telling you. You see, when they made the redshift, they did not have the bulbs. And suppose that this is a galaxy. What it moves towards the red? The blue? Because it has all the colors in it, in the white colors. What it moves towards the red? What it shifts? You shift the blue also to the red, and the green towards the red, and the yellow towards the red. If you understood all this comparison, they are crazy. So this is falling, and the background microwave radiation is falling because you have to have atoms to modulate, atoms to produce microwave. Do you have a microwave without atoms? Without a door, without a buttons, so you have to have atoms. You cannot give the prior radio or this light wave, microwave prior the atoms. The atoms must be simultaneous with this, and you understand must be constructed like this to be in interaction. Why they are making like this? But if you have a sphere, you can produce any kinds of waves. You touch it like this. You submerge it like only this or at the middle or a different frequency in a field with only a sphere. But now if you have different shapes of the spheres, or you have different shapes of this like this, and submerging, you see in the water it is produced when you throw a rock, only the round kinds of waves. And this is how you are believing somehow the round waves, but they are not. So let me show to you another piece I made from a computer screen to further make this idea strong in your head. You will see here the same idea. This is from Winamp, desktop visualization. But for you to understand, this is placed somehow after the music. Somehow. Takes the rhythm of the music. So there are some standard, if you know, like this. So it is the same idea that the light does not have like a line. They are induced themselves in error. They are saying that they are electromagnetic waves, but you can modulate light however you want. It takes all the geometrical shapes, and so the geometrical shapes include a frequency, like presuppose a frequency. So this frequency, you see, so what is the spectrum of light? How they are saying, they do not think, you do not believe, they take one from another. They make this representation that to be easy, but the light you can shape it and you make any frequency in a straight line, like in a circle. You see, in any shape and ondulation per seconds and vibration can copy everything. So does not have, like they put it in a spectrum, like the visible spectrum is like somehow infinite. You can shape it infinite. See? I made a piece, a piano piece. I showed you in program. You see, you can modulate light how do you want. You see? So what it is, visible frequency spectrum. You can modulate how do you want, exactly like the sound. So they are speaking to understand, but they do not understand. So you understand that I only wanted to contradict the Big Bang. How you can make from this to change the spectrum to the red. This. All these geometrical shapes move to the red. You understand? All these patterns, the entire geometry of light moves to the red. Why? So we understand this. The entire geometry moves to the red, or what? Because you cannot take geometry from light. In each of object, in a flower, it has a geometry plus a frequency per time. So it's very fast. You do not see, but it has a way of emitting for. So what it moves towards the red? What? You understand that they are wrong. So a long video I make explaining to you light, okay? You see how many shapes? You see? So what it moves towards the red? What? Nothing. I'm telling you, nothing. Doppler made this in 1980s, 50s. In 50s, no 90s, 80. Look, you believe that this moves to the red? Why? Shifts to the red? So if a galaxy is like this, it moves to the red, the entire spectrum of the whole stars and arrangement in that galaxy. Why? Maybe. Hope you heard me. I spoke over the music. So the entire spectrum, if you have a galaxy like this, let's move this and you see only the light. The entire spectrum of the galaxy, let's suppose that the galaxy is composed through many pieces of alloys and crystalline structure and gases, noble gases. There is an electromagnetic wave that ignites that group, like a Christmas tree installation. So now you have all these colors, you see. When the galaxy moves, all this spectrum moves, all of it, because you have many colors in one galaxy. Every spectrum moves towards what? You understand that they are tricking themselves. This is wrong. There's some holes in the spectrum indicating lines of absorption and black color. The intersection of black color, of three colors, makes black. So what it moves towards the red? Nothing. Look red and shape. So hope you understood this, okay? Let's hear again with music. You see what moves towards the red? They do not understand. They do not understand science. You do not believe that they do not understand science. Okay, that's about it. I will speak more at my table. So after you watch that, I'm coming again to this. You see, this is in many way frequency. You see, it has a frequency per second. You can change it from here. You see, in many ways, and the red itself has an energy and a frequency. But this is wrong also, because only the glass. It is the same quantity of light. The glass makes red color and blue in this case. And you see. So you can have many ways of frequency. So this is how do you speak into a thundercloud? How do you speak in lightning? This is the way the first radio was produced. They were speaking in the spark. And the spark was making exactly like your voice. That's why I show to you that, so you now understand that there are functions that they are making between voice and electromagnetic. It is voice electricity is this kind of things that you go wrong, okay? But you can modulate the geometry exactly to duplicate. It is light. So what is light? It is a field. It is a field. It is what is light. They do not know. And when you make a copy, you can be stupid of the key. You put the key and you make a copy, like that machine. This makes a function, like bijective, injective, and surjective function. There are many kinds, but this is how they basically define them, okay? So now, let me tell you again how you can produce a microphone. This is a microphone. You take this wire, you glue to this paper, like this, and you speak into the paper. Boom, and the paper produces a copy of your voice, and by contact transmits to the wire. But here they were the first radio were noise like it. If you heard that, okay. So now there is many ways to make this better, to make like a wire, a full wire, like a round wire, because you see. You must understand how the voice produces the sound, like it makes cylinders, sculpted cylinders. So now you must have something similar to capture. So the microphones are like the spherical to catch the geometry form of your voice from all the parts. And in the middle of the microphone there's wires like this, and in magnetic field. Again, now, what is the aspect of the magnetic field? It is not. You make it many wires over a magnetic field. Magnetic fields are like this, and describing all radius sphere like this. So when you speak into a sphere, you like hit it, imprint it in it some patterns, and the wires that you press electricity are making this field like a plastilene susceptible to your speaking into it, and you transmit exactly a copy of your voice through a wire. This is so how to speak into the lightning. So now what it is, electromagnetic fields has some frequency, some quantity, but you do not understand that you put through the battery the frequency. You have a battery, 2 volts, 12 volts, 6 volts battery that has a capacity of electricity, and you have some wires made by you, a big, small wire, by requires maybe of the geometry of the voice to be a small wire, or another factors to duplicate the signal in a perfect manner. So this guy says that you listen this, deGrasse Tyson, he says that you catch this with some pace, but he do not understand further than to make the connections.
So there's the infrared, and then you go beyond infrared, below infrared, what used to just all be called radio waves. And then they said, well, there's a section of the radio waves that have special utility for us for communicating. It's just the shortest of the radio waves, and they call them microwaves.
Sweet.
Short radio waves, microwaves. So that got it labeled right there between infrared and radio waves. And beyond microwaves, we have radio waves. And now we're getting physically realizably sized wavelengths of light. So microwaves are about a centimeter long. We can actually show that. Between a millimeter up through a few centimeters. And then when you get into the meter zone, yards and things, those are radio waves. And once again, like gamma rays, these just continue forever. And we don't have more words for it.
Right. Which is why we have so many different broadcasts. Or are those just frequencies? But the frequency is the wave.
You can call them, they call them wavelengths,
right?
But it's our habit to call them frequencies,
right?
So each frequency, when you're tuning,
right,
in the old days, you'd have an AM or an FM radio. When you're turning the dial, you are changing the frequency of your detector to receive a signal sent through that zone.
Wow,
there you have it.
That's great.
And in the old days, when you turn old timers, you turn the knob to change the channel on the TV. You're actually changing the frequency detector inside the television. And there's that secondary knob that you could tune it a little sharper. I don't know if you knew that. Okay? That got you honed in on that one frequency. Was it channel 7, channel 8? Right. We just numbered them. We didn't give you the frequency because that's why, when you can just number them, which is what we did in the day. So anyway, all of these move at the speed of light. It is all light. Most of it is invisible to you. In fact, if you put this on a scale, if you drew all of these things and you ask, well, how much of this whole electromagnetic spectrum can we see?
Right.
And we see this tiny slice among all these broad zones in the electromagnetic spectrum. We are practically blind.
So after you watch that, you see, this is speaking by a radio. You had some buttons but what the buttons did, they put the radio on the capacity of they have some pieces in there that are vibrating at this frequency to catch this frequency. So everything is constructed. But understand this: you cannot have a wave only if you have an antenna, and you cannot have the only you have atoms. You must have this button to catch the frequency. So you understand now what radiation you put before the Big Bang, and through what science, if the microwave background radiation, it is an energy, electromagnetic energy, like it's modulated by something. It is emitted by something, by a microwave producer, and the microwave implies atom. So they emit in a constant manner in that stuff, you understand? So it is not an intrinsic property even of atom. It is intrinsic property of how you move a surface. So you do not know what it is exactly. They are moving with 100,000 kilometers per second. 1 second here from moon, that guy says. And you can think of the quantity of the energy that you receive, because if you have a piece and you emit, you receive some energy, a quantity. So you know how it charges a battery. So if you put red colors, maybe it charges differently with the blue and yellow. It makes some relations, okay, like this. And you understand that this is an invention, okay? So what shifts to the red now, if you understand? You believe that I'm crazy. Nothing shifts to the red. The light does not stretch anywhere. You imagine a lightning through the space from Earth to the moon. Where it is stretching? It is not. It loses energy, intensity. It is lose luminosity. It is losing, dissipates. It's made like this, but it's not stretching. And you understand that it's basically exactly like a lightning strike when you modulate a beam to go to the Mars to speak or something. It's exactly like you emit a lightning, an invisible lightning. So let me tell you more stuff. We cannot see light. We see at the distance, and this is strange. It's vibrating your eyes. You see, you cannot see the red coming from this bolt into my eyes. It is in the camera, maybe, I hope, okay? You cannot see like a laser. You cannot see even some lasers, only if you put something in the laser beam. So you cannot see the light. So it is strange somehow. It is vibrating. It is exactly contact with your eyes. And your eyes make a three-dimensional copy, and because you know the distances, like 2 meters, 3 meters in depth and length, you make the geometry of like how far it is with your eyes. So you see the yellow, it is here. It is strange. It is not comes like a laser on your eyes. So you cannot see somehow light. You see at the distance a color of lights only. So if you understand like this, you are in contact your eyes with this, and it vibrates. But you cannot see the cord. you see only how it vibrates. And in being at different times, your eyes makes this strange, even if it is so fast, 300,000 kilometers per second, your eyes is calculating the three-dimensional object. So because a few billions of the second, I am speaking like them, because I believe that they do not make this correct. They even the speed of light, and they say that we cannot surpass the speed of light. Why? Who said that? Einstein's false physics. Why? So you understand that it's like this cord is vibrating your eyes, and another cord here and is vibrating, but you do not see the cord. In the eye being like a sphere, it makes like a chamber, three-dimensional chamber, and the brain calculates the distances. So it is this powerful that is showing to you the distances, the different levels, and you see this at the distance, discrete. Why I'm telling you this? Because in this manner, I believe that you cannot resonate a sensor from one day with the speed of light. So all the light that you are seeing with any capable sensor, it is coming from a day with the speed of light. So it must be somehow a connection field between the stars and the sensor that you are filming, like this, to vibrate your sensor. In another way, you must believe that it is sending pictures, exactly pictures through the air, like the stars makes a picture of it and it sends it through the air at the sensor. Okay, but this could be also possible, but you understand that you cannot receive a picture from a billion years. So the stars are close. I'm telling you, this way of making science, it is stupid. You see this beautiful in this, where it is, in what wavelength. It is in the sensor. Like this was all philosophy stuff and you do not know at this day. This red is not only that it has a color red, it is beautiful, has beauty in it. And another stuff is like holy stuff and beauty. Where is this? Where is in the frequency? There's so concept programming. It's in the Bible. It said, and God saw that the light was beautiful. And they are translating with good, but it's also in Greek beautiful, like colors. So with his eyes, somehow, like by seeing it, he does not have eyes like his God, but it's telling you how by seeing it he added the beautifulness in the colors. It's telling you that it was not beautiful until God saw it beautiful, but it added from then on it added the beautiful in it. The beautiful philosophical, it's a philosophical concept. It is in the light. So this is more, it is more wrong like to speak like them. You have this spectrum of it, I can tell you that, but what do you learn? Nothing. And they are falsifying because they are constructing waves, I've told you. And they are not in light. Light can be shaped in any geometry. You cannot have any geometry. Look, a sphere of geometry, red geometry. You can have, look, all the geometries. So what is the frequency in geometry of light? What it is? You see, like you must understand like emission. How many pictures? This is like a movie waves of understanding science. So it added in the light. So we do not know what light is. Maybe it is programmed. Maybe in other circumstances does not have this. This beauty is programmed like in the frequency of light by God. So do not understand when you are watching a video, a film, you are receiving emotions and sentiments. They are saying emotions like bad things. But the emotions not only like you are afraid, or they are good emotion like love is sentiment, a sentiment. So where it is in the light. So this kind of speaking is wrong. The science is wrong, because you are believing that that is not existing in there, or somehow the man is like a computer trick to see beauty. Like you have a supplementary way of diodes and resistors and condensers and other chips to trick you that light is beautiful. When you see red, you say in your mind it's beautiful, like tricks. You understand? So this way is going to be science. If you say that you observe entire reality, you conceptualize the entire reality, the sound is beautiful. The sound is the same. You can say in all the creation, God always says in each day, and God said that it was good. So it is like a supplementary thing added into the matter. So it is not this beautiful. Maybe I sing bad, but like even a pure manner. Look. Why it is beautiful? Why? If you define the frequency and if you want to be scientific, keep your concepts straight. So now you say that the iron has frequencies. You are wrong. It is constructed to sound. The iron does not sound. The guys where make the pans and you fry something in them, they do not want to sound the pan. So now they are interested in this aspect. They're saying that iron is good, it's not melting. You can fry chicken in it. So iron is chicken-like. You see that I'm controlling some stuff. They are prepared to see it, but they do not have an arranged logic. So where is in frequency and the copper has a frequency? This is, I told you, like inox, like iron, but unoxidable iron with the copper wiring. So what is the frequency of the iron and copper combined? You make some frequencies in the similar manner with electricity and everything. It is a small thing for you to understand in this big video that the electromagnetism of Maxwell is wrong science. It is and the Doppler shift is false, and the galaxies are close is a small thing. You see, if you do not want to watch, you do not understand. You make some function copy. So where is the beauty in this? Where is intrinsic in frequency? I'm tricking you. It's like the Maya God, like their tricks to believe only that is beautiful. It is indeed beautiful as a frequency way of resonance, and it is not intrinsic in the science-like manner, understanding this. And you are watching movies, and you are watching even these guys that I put, Professor Dave, and you are take some joy maybe, but where is it in the light that they are transmitting? They are speaking wrong, but not exactly wrong, but in a reduced manner. So I only wanted to tell you that we can see light only from one day with the speed of light. The visible light diminishes with distance. This is a proof. You do not. If you see the moon, Artemis saw the moon like the Earth. The moon is 1 second with the speed of light away from the moon. So they filmed the Earth like this. You are believing that we can see stars. The moon is 1 second. They do not know what is with them. When I've told you, I've told you how they made all this stuff. If you understand, in a nice manner. So light diminishes with distance, you see. You see, so now I've told you that the colors could be infinite with tones, with what they are emitted, and the eyes receives this stuff. We do not know what, some vibration, some stuff, the geometry of the red even. There are different tones of red, like a different tones of instrument. So in a sense, there is a do note, but it matters who gives it. The flute, the violin, the piano, it is somehow a frequency, but this is wrong, a tone and a frequency. That's why somehow when you accord the guitar here, this note must sound like this, but they are vibrating in the same tonality somehow. If you put this, but they are already one, it is thicker, like a small finger and a thick finger. This is thicker than this. But when you put it like this, it accomplishes the same vibratories, but it has another tone, nonetheless. So now, if you understand, in the guitar there is packed two instruments already, unreducible instruments. So you accord this with this in some tonality, some approximation, but they are different chords, and every chord it is like a different instrument. So you have like different instruments, and you see you make music, okay? Look, it is the same, like the same piece. This is the trick, like you reduce it, but somehow it is not, okay? It is another piece. You hear it another way, okay? So you say that it is the same note somehow. This is how they are reducing light. So if the light is like paper, what is the frequency of vibration of the paper? This is how you are saying wrong stuff. I can vibrate it like this, like this. I vibrate. The paper does not have those vibrations. I vibrate it like this. So now the thunderclouds are producing the light to be emitted like that. The lightning, so it is so the Tesla coil I've showed to you. It is showing to you that through another processes, because it is made on electromagnetic wires, but the clouds do not have electromagnetic wires. Water and oxygen clouds, so also they are producing the same geometry. So you saw there it is a frequency. Imagine the lightning circulating through a wire, like, and now you modulate it. You modulate even the frequency, because when you speak into it, you copy the frequency of the voice. You speak fast, the faster modulation. You speak fast you understand. So what is the modulation of the lightning? There is not any. You are speaking into it. So this wrong understanding of the lights, they are saying that from light they calculate mass. They do not go at any stars, okay? So can you calculate the mass from light? You watch this light and you know that as 2 grams. So now you watch the light and you say that from what material it is made, copper, iron. So you watch the light and you say that it goes away from you. So now you watch the light and you see that how it is making, what was making. So they were watching the light and they are laying everything that they want. You understand? What is the density of the galaxy? What is the mass of the galaxy? What it is? And I'm telling you, I pull this to this. Does not have anything in common, the production of light. It is a copper weight attached to this and does not transform itself in light. So if a star emits some light but it has some bulk mass you do not see it, how can you tell the mass of the stars? I'm telling you that they are lying. You see, I attach this to this. What is from the light? The mass. You put it in a scale, you know that is 100 gram. If you want to say that everything has the densities that you want, you put it in a scale and you know the density. But if you make a copy on the pixel, you say that this has some density, so 100 grams. But if you do not look, I put it. And now what is the mass? It's a copper, you see? What is the mass? So from light, but not knowing, I put it. But does that transform itself in light, this? It does not have light even in it. I put it. What is the mass? So could be the stars that they have, half of the mass is not converted in light. So how do you know the mass of the stars? From light. How do you know the temperature? From light. How do you know the distances? From light. Because they are saying that they do not understand. So I began to tell you at the beginning of this video, I did not want to make these big videos to educate, like this professor. I'm not getting anything from this, okay, money or something. But I want to tell you Big Bang is false and the stars are close. We can see only one day with the speed of light. And the galaxies are stars put at the border of our galaxy in clouds, hydrogen, oxygen clouds. And how the clouds are producing lightning, they produce electromagnetic energy, electric energy in the clouds. In the clouds. It's circulating. It's not wonder. The clouds produce electricity, thunder clouds. The bigger amperage that can break an entire block. The skyscrapers are made with these irons put in the top of the building that do not be bring down to the from lightning. So very big energies there in clouds of hydrogen, oxygen clouds. So our galaxy is a sphere, it's not a spiral and it's not extending, you cannot see the universe. And the galaxies are simply star cumulus of like these species, with alloys, with crystalline structures to make color, clouds of neon gases and noble gases, and different types of gases, and there is electricity passing through the clouds. And the clouds are fake, you cannot see beyond them. That black stuff, it is void only one in our solar system, partially void, because they demonstrated NASA that it is electricity with a wire that they go to the International Space Station, it broke, has an electricity, and has this radiation, microwave background, you can catch it, has many things in it, produce the move of the planets. Okay, so at the border there are many pieces like this put there. The galaxies are put like this, cumulus like this, put in clouds, and the clouds ignite them. They are nothing producing from internal property like the sun. You are more tricked like a battery type. Even though they do not know how to maintain 4 billion years lights, they do not know. They are lying that you can know how the sun, our sun, can produce like 4 billion years, because this is the age of the sun, 4.6 billion years. We do not know how to produce 4.6 billion years of light. We do not know. It is beyond any power of ours to sustain 4.6 billion years light. Like a bulb ignited 4.6 billion years. It is beyond our capacity of understanding. But they are lying nonetheless that the sun has 4 billion years. They do not have any written paper how to sustain all the stars. They are saying they have 4.6 billion from lights, because you do not understand lights. And I explained to you in a funny manner and in a nice manner, if you understand. We do not know all the reality. It is beautiful. It is a copy. It is a copy between this beautifulness of the sounds and transmitted through the wire, even. And it's converted in electricity, electronic flows, or they do not know what is this. If you want to laugh, but I'm telling you, they do not know. Maybe the light is the electron. They do not know. And you are light at schools and you're kept at schools for nothing. But I didn't want it to tell you this stuff. You understand? Only for you to understand. There are no science, and you cannot be coherent to show this. Professor Dave deGrasse Tyson to explain what you and I understand, and to put for you this another guy that modulated that sound waves with the sand and with the laser, and to speak supplementary and to say that I am crazy. You make a prism like a glass prism, you break the light and you land the light is stretching and things like this. I'm telling you that you cannot trick me. The light does not do this, lights. And it is not electricity. And I've told you many things. You see why this video must be a microphone. You speaking into this, and it's copy of vibration. And so what is the vibration? What is the I've told you many things. The radio waves are constructed to be like this. You need to modulate this in a second, a wave coming from here to here. And you speak into it. From the air you transmit, you believe me or not, in some manner that your voice travels through the air. A real copy of your voice, like a picture of your voice. In a radio. If you do not have a radio in a car and you do not listen to the radio, you do not understand anything of this, and if you want to lie, you understand that they are not crazy. They were fighting. They were invented this, that the galaxies with aliens. They do not want to back up now. But I'm telling you that the stars are small and they're close. You cannot see with your naked eye 3 billion years at night distance. If you see from the mountain a man like this, to see from Earth the stars 3 billion years, because you can see stars. If you're not in a city full of lights, you go, there's no time where you go. That's where you are listening. At some place where it's black, for the lights of the city that have blocked the stars. So I'm telling you, this manner is falsifying science and teaching you nothing. And when you go to work, they are not smart. They did this electronically, and that guys are not smart, because all these guys were inventions. And this is the whole science of electromagnetism that they are bragging about. You have a wire like this, you produce with a motor electricity, and you make what is coming across your head. You make the wire like this. You want to see how the element is operating. You make a wire and you bring like a toothpick of gold, and you watch how it vibrates in that field. A toothpick of iron, a toothpick of titan, a toothpick of copper, and you vibrate it, and you make some things. The resistor, the condenser, the circuits were invented. How to write sound, like they're already making this, like petaphones and magnetophones and audio tapes, and they already made it. This improves on old stuff, and they did not make this. And if you are believing that you are stupid, they teach you electromagnetism. You do not understand that it's false science. Maxwell did this on wires. He had wires. And you watch how it is the intensity. You make a bigger intensity. It is logical. You can magnet big, but it's not functioning through the air to the hertz waves and things. And I'm telling you, but I don't want to lie to you. 99% of the science is wrong science, because all the world is based on the invention. So goodbye, God bless, about light. Maybe I'll make another ones to see. So what is the frequency of light and electricity? Does not have any, okay? We make it to flow, to take some shapes, to go at distances, to write, inscribe in it something. You can communicate with laser now. You modulate the laser beam in the same manner, if you understood. So okay, goodbye, big videos, but when you prove this many things wrong, you cannot. I could speak like them. The visible spectrum is here, and you have microwaves, radio waves, and infrared. Infrared is emitted by the bulb. A bulb that you have some circuits, and you emit infrared. So you have a bulb that emits invisible light like this. But what do you have? You have the circuits made, the resistor, the battery, and you put some energy in it, and you emit in that, and you know that you cannot see it, but you can receive it. like a sensor of the bank of the, you know that are existing, but all of them are constructed. But more likely in electronical science, electronic science, not like how they are saying to you, like physics. It's engineering science. It is not a general universal law like science, but they are lying to you, and they are proceeding in engineering manner and technological manner. The rockets were made. They are taking money from the government. This is how they are proceeding, and they are making satellites and everything that they want. And they are lying to you, and you make you stupid that they knew some formula, but I've told you that they are wrong. Einstein's false physics, quantum mechanics, they teach you in the schools now, like MIT's, they're bullshitting you, teaching you that you believe that you are stupid, then they are proceeding like engineering manner. You understand? All this stuff is made at the factories in the engineering manners, and suppose stupid people. You can be stupid if you go to the factory, produce this. You can be stupid if you produce a television set. The old television sets, if you want to understand more, if you watch them, have different colors. You say that you arrange the tones somehow. The intrinsic manner that you arrange the emission of the electrons to shoot them in that screen to produce light, and the circuits themselves made that to have different colors. If you watch careful, the Samsung and the iPhone emit different tones of colors. That's why they cannot even duplicate the same way the red. If you do not go in the nature to see what more complex the color of the nature are, so somehow they are reducing themselves to some frequency in this apparatus that film. There are many tones that they are not like you go in the nature and you see how many grains you see. Now you go and see each plant has a different green. So they are emitting some few specters, and I'm telling you that if you are saying that this is a wave, you can make it infinite. So there could be infinite greens. I'm telling you, if you like this, and even if it is a small crust, like this, maybe it is perceived by the eyes. The eyes are very sensible. I'm telling you that can make the distance from you can see that this is three-dimensional, and the light has a very small difference from here to here. It is 300,000 kilometers per second, and you can see three-dimensional object. So the eyes can, but you do not define in names. So your lack of conceptual sensibility, and you do not know many names for the red. You only see red. You only say red. You only say blue. You do not know many names of the colors. That's why. But if you are training yourself, you're seeing different types of red, different tones in different arrangements. They are more. You are believing that maybe they are more complex than the music. And how many instruments can give do note, and how many can be made. So the music itself is infinite in a manner. If you reduce it, if do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do in tones like this, you are believing from that mathematical tricks that they are combinations, like two combination of do, re, mi, and in this manner you have 8 notes. And you combine one in a row, two in a row, 2 with 1, 2 with 3 combination and arrangements. But this is tricking you because you interrupt and you make a wave, a frequency wave. When you combine this with different time difference, and you intersect this like with a piano, you make a compound tone that you cannot duplicate this in mathematics. You cannot, because it's beyond any capacity, because it is infinite somehow. It is a infinite geometry. This is how I'm telling you that this mechanical quantity is false. They have a sign like this, and they unite the wave with the particles, bombing particles like this. I'm telling you, I'm not crazy, if you understand. They were crazy. You do not understand. They were fast to light. Heisenberg with that Schrödinger dude. If you have all the possibility of geometry, and how do you can arrange in a single equation with that psi stuff, psychopaths from the psychopath science stuff. You put that psi sign, and you know a mass. You combine a heating body of mass with that psi sign, and you understand that Schrödinger. We're crazy. You can put this in only one equation. All the mathematicians on the entire planet can put the entire length of the geometry in one equation, like psi times b equals stupidity. So mechanical quantics is false. Quantum mechanics is false. Some of them are believing that it is inside the rock, quantum mechanics. It is inside somehow. But originally was made how the light moves in packages, frequencies. This is originally quantum of light. Einstein invented the term, a quantity from a quantity, quantity of light moving through space. So, but Schrödinger now they are saying that a hydrogen atom somehow, they are lying to you that inside this rock the hydrogen, the atoms are jiggling, are shaking. They are lying to you many stuff. So they are lying to you that in the side of rock there is like atomic with the planets, atomic model of the planets model, like you have a sun in the middle and planets to circulate. So you have protons, electrons are circulating like crazy. Do you really believe that it is shaking something in this rock? This is how the crazy science actually science. Quantum mechanics is a little video for you to understand this stupid stuff. Quantum mechanics is wrong. Maxwell is wrong. I've told you that Einstein is wrong. The gravity is wrongly understood even. And they are going with rockets. And it is something small for you to understand. So it is something that is jiggles inside this, makes like this. They are telling you, but it is not a static. Nothing is standing still. Why? Because why? So if you connect this wire, it gives you energy. You can. So if we have a small wire, it will jiggle your wire. That's why you know this. So I'm telling you, the proton electron from chemistry is not a proton electron that we are saying in physics. And the kinetic energy is movement energy, or how a quantity of force moves the mass. And they are seeing the electricity per space, that dark matter, dark energy. So I'm telling you, not understanding the light gives you all this bullshit. That's why the light, what light is. And that Dave says, like in old times, they're saying that they are smart now, but they are more stupid like old times. The rock god of Egyptians, that was the god of the sun, the god of the Big Bang, and the god of jiggling, or the god of quantum mechanics, stupid waves, or putting new religions in your head. And they made this through inventions. They are lying to you. So this was my video, my friends. You can make light to vibrate how do you want, and we do not know what it is. You register like a vibration, but it's stupid for you to say, you vibrated and it's vibrating. But I vibrate this chord. I vibrated. So then I say, it is vibrating. But I vibrated. It is not vibrating. Only if I vibrated, okay? Let me finish. Let me finish with I feel myself when I put the guitar there, and you do not hear me play, okay? But you cannot interrupt this. There are two phenomena, mental phenomena. I'm speaking about science and to play. So you must have another state of mind, maybe, okay? But I know. But for you to see that is not only for exposition. You see my previous videos, I always have the guitar in. So, but I know how to play. Okay, goodbye about light. Can you have a single equation for all the sounds in the world? This is how stupid they are. Can you have a single equation for light? Can you have a single equation on the paper? So that's where the quantum mechanics and all this is bullshit science. For you take all the instruments, the violin, guitar, piano, like blowing with wind, with percussion, and you put all of them in a single equation on the paper. This is stupid thinking, my friends. What is going to be the equation? Psychotronic sine plus vectorial temporal, adding the vectors with time with space, like a tensor, Einstein tensor. In this is crazy religion, my friends. Crazy. Can you put all the music into a single equation? So you realize that you see color, that light sings to you. An entire forest sings with light. Can you put that in an equation? This is crazy science, my friend. So I'm not interdict the science, but these guys are falsifying it. For you to believe that something exploded and made soup and that coagulated to magical fission, atomic fission, hydrogen, copper fission is the stars, but unknowing the gravity is not attraction, and it is so it's a small thing for you to understand that the science is wrong. Nobody takes on it, but I explained to you correct. Okay, so goodbye. This is the way I make. Usually I make this. I say many times goodbye. Maybe you okay. Goodbye. God bless. How to speak into lightning.